So time for the sleeve. So to put the sleeve in, we need to have the sleeve turned the right way around and the shirt is inside out, and then we're going to push the sleeve in the armhole like that. And we're going to start by matching your underarms. So your underarm seams, so the underarm of the sleeve is going to match the underarm of the garment, and both your seams should be facing towards the back. So that way, I know that's the back because here's my dart, which is the front. So I'm putting these two seams together over here. Oh, I'm running out of pins. Okay, and then the next marking is you have a mark at the top here, and this needs to match the mark that you have. My mark's disappeared a bit, there's a little bit of a white line there, but it needs to match this line here. So it's not lining up with your seam there, it's slightly towards the middle because this seam is towards the back. So make sure that you have that marking and match that up, otherwise your sleeve will not hang properly. And then you're going to slowly work from the inside. So you're going to go from here. So we're going to sew, when we sew, we're going to sew from the inside. So we're actually going to put the pins on the inside as well. So I'm going to match my one lines here. So I've got a line that's 1, which means at the front. So that line I'm going to put a pin in. And then without stretching anything, I'm going to pin up until where my easing stitch is. So I'm going to put a pin over here. Okay, and that allows me to see by how much I need to ease the sleeve in. Okay, so you can see the sleeve is a little bit bigger than the armhole opening. So I'm just going to grab this thread here and I'm going to pull it until these two are the same. So right now I'm not worried about evening it out, I'm just making the two the same. So I pull this so they're both the same. Then I'm going to take this thread and I'm going to wrap it around in a figure of an 8. So a couple of times around this pin to secure it. And that will allow me to now even these out without the size changing. Because if I don't do that, then every time I try and even this out, then the size will change, which means the sleeve will keep getting bigger and it'll be quite frustrating. So what you can notice here is there are little bumps here, but where the straight line is, that is matching. So the distance there where you're stitching is lying flat. So please do not worry about these bumps. Okay. They are not going to be sewn into the garment. It's just the construction of a circle. So the bigger circle is bigger than the smaller circle. And what's happening here is your raw edge here is the bigger circle, and where you're sewing is the smaller circle. So you just worried that this is lying flat there where you're sewing. Okay, and you're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to match my marks here. I've got 2 lines. My back 2 lines have disappeared a little bit. So I'm going to match them up like that. So that's the back. 2 lines means it's the back. And then again, I'm going to pin up until I can see this stitching. So I've pinned up until there, and I can see by how much I need to ease this guy. So I'm going to just pull until these two are the same size. Make this nice and tight here. And then I'm going to spend some time evening this out. Now, 99% of people hate this process, so just breathe, take your time, put lots of pins in, and you'll be fine. If you do sew and you see that a pleat has formed, just unpick the bit where the pleat is, even it out again, and then re-sew just that little bit. Sometimes I find it easier to just pin it and sew it in, and then just fix the few bits, unpick and fix the few bits that have gone wrong, instead of spending too many hours trying to get this step perfect. But yeah, so this is something everybody hates, but it's important for the sleeve to hang properly. So when you sew now, you're going to put it into the sewing machine and you're going to start sewing like this, and you're going to sew on the inside around like that. So the sleeve is in, didn't go too badly. And then what you can do is your stay stitch that was in here, you can just pull that out if you haven't caught it, and you can just pull that guy out, and then you just finish off the edge with an overlock stitch. So just overlock all the way around the sleeve. and your sleeve is done.